Hello Twitch. I'm back in. What's the button for emoting? This one. Yay, I can wave. And actually press the right freaking button. Yeah, so I'm back in here and yeah, I'm liking how my base is setting up. And with us today, during this episode, is Pat, who is doing
Howdy.
stuff in a different game. So, like, you wouldn't see him in the first place because he's like 1,000 blocks that direction, but
Not my fault you went so far the other direction. I recall, at least at the start, we were around each other.
yes, and I said I wanted to find an ocean.
Yes.
It took a while, but I did find an ocean.
And I was just trying to survive.
I think I mostly survived that first stream. Probably.
I'm not referring to you, I'm saying you don't seem to recall, but I was dealing with way too many fucking mobs because of how we spawned close to like a forest with all those trees that was blocking the sun and shit.
Yeah.
And then there would be moments where I died, and that just forced me to have to run over there to get my stuff back, which in turn, caused the cycle. And then finally, when everything seemingly settled, it's nighttime again.
There.
Oh no, I'm not complaining or anything. What I'm getting at, though, is I was preoccupied just trying to hold on to what I had, instead of trying to grasp what I wanted.
Oh, and I do have one other update to tell you about the progress I've made since we last played together.
Go on.
I now have enchanted iron armor and an enchanted iron sword.
Excuse me.
And I invested in lightning rods because I just kind of realized that I have a pretty large area of just open wood, and I don't remember if I turned fire spread off. Honestly, I probably didn't, so lightning rods are useful.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna take a lot of resources, but it's gonna make me extra happy. I've decided to upgrade. I decided to finally kind of figuratively bite the bullet,
Ow.
and my lighthouse foundations are now I'm extending them to 2 blocks above the water line.
Hmm.
So the only entrance once I'm done will be through the intended path. Like, I won't be able to just jump over the edge. I'll have to go around.
Hold up. I think I got a stupid idea that you want.
I'm worried. Continue.
Imagine Bleach with
Yeah.
guns instead of swords. Directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Huh. That would be cool.
Like, think of it. One of, if not the most iconic, like, visual thing in Bleach is Ichigo with the tuxedo Bankai. Even if it's not the most iconic sword, I'd argue it's at least his most iconic look.
Hmm.
So, like, imagine that with a fucking shotgun or an SMG or fuck, maybe dual wielding akimbo type deal.
Please, if Ichigo had anything, it would probably be like a. It would probably start as like like a normal gun, but it would be stupidly oversized. And then when he goes Bankai, it would just be it would be just like a normal pistol.
He would start off with a fucking pirate cannon. Not a hand cannon, an actual pirate cannon.
Yes,
He would just, like, carry that. And then when he goes Bankai, it goes from being the cannon to a damn Desert Eagle.
not even. It'd be like a six-shot revolver. It'd be like, what could you went from a cannon to like a six-shot revolver? What is that gonna do? And then it's just shooting freaking laser beams. Like that. I feel like that would be an accurate representation of Ichigo's power scaling. Pirate cannon.
Toyfun would probably have almost the exact opposite. She'd probably have to start off with a fucking blowgun. Something stealthy like that. And then, come Bankai, it's still the goddamn rocket launcher.
I mean, that's the one that makes sense in this scenario.
Yoruichi, even if we don't see her as Pato ever, I'd imagine that, for the sake of this ridiculous thing, she would just have a taser. Like a stun gun.
Her Shikai would be a stun gun, yes. But her, I feel like her Bankai would be just like an arc thrower. Like, it shoots lightning bolts.
Ikaku would have to be a trebuchet.
Manliness, yes.
Question is, what the fuck would Kenpachi use?
Something that he could brain people over the head with. Like, until he unlocks Bankai, he would never use it as an actual gun. He would only use it as a something to hit people with.
Nope. The rule is everyone has to go with the gun thing. Like, they're allowed to hit people with it, of course.
No,
You did give me an idea.
He gets a fully functional gun. He just never shoots anyone with it. It's like it never has ammo.
Yeah, no, okay, I didn't know you were gonna go that way with the ammo thing, but I'm saying, like, they have to primarily shoot and only do, I don't know, gun-fu, let's just call it gun-fu, when they're within range or when they're out of ammo. But you did give me the perfect idea for him.
Mm-hmm.
Just like an old-fashioned musket with a bayonet.
Yeah, that's him all the way.
And when I say old-fashioned, I mean the powdered wig meme, where the guy puts a golf ball-sized hole in someone.
His Bankai is just like, he gets like a mounted cannon with like wheels and everything that he's just pushing around or just like carrying everywhere. But like Ichigo's would be like it just looks like a normal sized cannon. I imagine Kenpachi's Bankai would be just like it's
How about a grenade launcher?
Honestly, I just had a better thought. Kenpachi's Bankai is just a mortar. Like, a ludicrously oversized gun.
Wait. Minigun. The chain belt kind like John Rambo. Because remember, what we're giving them has to also fit the way they are in the game. I mean, not game. In the show and everything.
Mm.
So, when you have basically Jack the Ripper with a katana, you need to give him the gun equivalent to something he could commit manslaughter with and mow down many people in the most bloody way. Like, you were thinking of the power, which is incredibly accurate. But if you think of Kenpachi, you think just like the bloody pile of what were bodies and limbs everywhere.
Hmm.
And what gun would be best for doing that to multiple people within, even if they all try to hide behind something? The goddamn minigun. Just.
Okay, honest question. Who would we give a sniper rifle to? Like, I'm thinking like anti-material gun that, yeah, you shoot someone and they just turn into a bloody mist at 100 meters or something, or like a mile away.
Maybe Cheesecake or Hara.
I
Kind,
think clogs, yeah.
I kind of, because you know he's kind of got that laid back thing and everything, and
Hmm.
since we usually, and because of the way he does the thing with the hat, a lot of times it seems like we only see one of his eyes anyway. Just like maybe he's all chill and everything because he knows that when it comes to sniping, he has to maintain a calmness, a steady hand, a fainted breath, and then just pull the trigger with precision.
Mm.
By the way, I do think your mortar idea cannot go unused. So, I say we give it to Captain Yamato. That's basically what he did anyway.
That's
If he
fair.
if he whipped that thing out, everything that was opposing him is destroyed. Unless he holds back because he wants you to live.
Okay.
You know who might be the hardest one to think of in hindsight?
Hmm.
Because of like the shit I said about trying to like make it where their artillery matches their melee style. What do we do about Byakuya Kuchiki? Like most of the time he fights, he just waves his hand and we see the Senpon Zakura go through everything.
Hmm.
But we already gave Kenpachi the fucking minigun.
I would say Shikai. For the Shikai, he just has a pair of Uzis. And uh, for the Bankai, I want this. I'm not sure if this fits within your rule set. Uh, Still a pair of Uzis, but they're like they're just like drones. He just has a pair of drones flying above him.
Hmm.
Again, not sure if it fits your rule set.
Honestly, I feel like that's a 50-50 with the rule set. Like, I feel like I could justify it, but I also feel like I can argue that it breaks it. So instead, I'm going to give you my proposition, and you tell me if you think it works. This is another case of I unintentionally thought of it because of something you said that made something click in my brain. What if, for his Shikai, he uses a Tommy gun? Think of it, a man of speaking, the way he is and everything, he's like one of those. He's kind of like one of those Italian mob boss guys. Well, not mob boss, but you know, those guys who does everything for the family.
Hmm.
And for his Bankai, what if he uses two Tommies?
I want you to know what the only thought that gives me. Uh, Joseph
Gunsoka.
Joestar.
Ah, fair enough.
I'm on one hand, I think that would work. On the other hand, I'm not sure with the thought of Joseph being there. I'm not sure if we can give it uh to Byakuya.
I hear you, but you gotta remember, we're replacing whatever was constituted as melee weapons for artillery. And also, it's not like the Joestar lineage is part of the Dream, I mean the Bleach universe, that would seem like a bad dream.
It would be quite the experience.
That really, not a bad dream, that sounds like a nightmare. Like, think of it like this, hypothetically. Wait. Actually, you know what? I'm kind of shifting sides now. Zanpakutos, I mean, Soul Reapers and everyone would probably be visible to stand users. And stands would probably be visible to fucking Soul Reapers and shit.
And you know that as the Soul Society or slash a Soul Society would 100% get involved with like the vampire bullshit of parts 1 and 2.
Joseph would somehow ruin Sosuke Aizen's plan. Like, he would seemingly have everything, and then, you know what motherfucking Joseph's gonna say? The next thing you're gonna say is, The next thing you're gonna say is, this was all part of your plan. What?
The worst part is, you know he's gonna say it too, and like, Aizen's just gonna be like, wait, what? And I get hit in the face by a pair of balls.
You know what? No. We need to make the shit go even further. The next thing you're gonna say is that you arranged for Ichigo's birth. And now you must know, Ichigo, What the fuck? Like, I feel like if he had to deal with Joseph Joestar specifically, I feel like Joseph would get him to lose his composure and everything, the way that Kisuke did when Aizen realized, oh my god, this motherfucker secretly planned a contingency against me and had this shit built up for all these years while I've been monitoring him. Like, think of it, he wasn't just annoyed and pissed when Ichigo beat him, but he lost his shit when Kisuke basically reverse Uno'd him with this was my plan, but it was only possible thanks to Ichigo. Like, he goes off and talks about how Kisuke is this fucking smart, and yet he just chooses to live quietly and all that things.
Mm-hmm.
And even brought up the fact that he knew about the Soul King. And what did Kisuke go? Oh, so you even know about that. So the thought of him having to deal with the Joestar who has a unexplained supernatural power that even his damn stand doesn't explain. Like, even people who do that analytical type shit, him and his character and everything, cannot think of any way that he knows exactly what everyone will say. It's one thing when it's someone he knows or is able to create a good profile of. It's another thing when he's saying it to motherfuckers who were already playing 4D chess and who he internally was acknowledging he has a disadvantage when it comes to a battle of wits. I feel like if Aizen had to deal with Joseph, who for me is the one true JoJo, I feel like the main reason he feels like the one true JoJo to me is because we didn't really have that much of Jonathan in the grand scheme of things.
We got more of Jonathan or Dio in Jonathan's body than we got of Jonathan.
Uh-huh. But, like, here's the other reason why I say he's the one real JoJo for me. how many people actually called Joseph Joseph? Like, it was usually exclusively relatives or when someone was angry with him. Like, if, like, anyone who was, like, more casual with him referred to him as Jojo. Like Smokey or Caesar! Like, everyone who, like, was... Hell, even the villains referred to him as Jojo. Then, what happened with Jotaro? There were two two Joestars, even if one of them had a different, surname. So what happened? They would refer to one of them as Jonathan, as Joseph, or the colloquial name of Old Man Joestar. And we had Jotaro, who everyone referred to as Jotaro. You know what I mean?
And then the next one is there's three Joes appearing in one part.
Uh-huh.
And then two JoJos, and then I think two JoJos again, and I don't know. I don't know
is,
jack about to steal a ball.
That's when we had Johnny Joestar.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's multiple JoJos appearing in that one.
Yeah, I'm saying, to my knowledge, Johnny was a solo act. Because, that's when it was, like, the reboot universe.
Yeah.
Which as you may or may not recall, I mistakenly thought was basically a literal reboot, as in, like, the universe got reset, and we had a new version of Jonathan, i.e. Johnny. It didn't help the fact that
teleported through me.
It didn't help the fact that there was also Diego Brando, who had a hat where the letters fell off and it's spelled Dio, and whose stand was basically being a vampire, but instead of turning people into vampires, he turned them into fucking raptors, which is debatably cooler.
I mean, that's 100%. If I had to choose between being turned into a... Yeah, wait, when you say turned into a raptor, would I still be humanoid, or would I just be a velociraptor?
Honestly, it's one of those things where I haven't seen in... basically since high school. So I'm just gonna quickly look it up.
I mean, if I get to be humanoid and a raptor, 100% sign me up for the raptor. But if it's just that I'm turned into a velociraptor, then it would be a harder choice. I mean, I'd still be able to open doors, but how could I stream if all you hear is just dinosaur noises?
Okay, so he transforms himself and others into dinosaurs.
Am I able to turn back on my own, or does he have full control?
Do you have the ability? So basically you're asking if you were infected, if you could change back and forth, or if only he could.
Yeah, that is my question. If we don't have the information, you can just say so.
Oh no, I'm looking it up. Even in his dinosaur form, he ends up having stripes that grow in a specific pattern, so it looks like Dio is written on him repeatedly.
That's hilarious. I guess I couldn't do a Muda Muda, so... I'll take what I can get.
Alright, so here's how it works. You'll be forcibly turned into it as if you were infected by a virus. But if you take enough damage and such, you can revert back to your original form.
Okay.
But it also states here that the transformation is portrayed inconsistently. As an example, the first time Diego transformed was gradual, and then all the subsequent ones are instantaneous. It also seems to have no limit in terms of range or number of individuals infected.
You know, I feel like it would be very funny if there was just a scene where Diego and Jojo and all of where basically everyone involved was just had to fight each other as velociraptors.
Hmm,
Like that would be funny for us, if nothing else.
I don't know.
Mm,
Oh, by the way, you may or may not recall that Steel Ball Run takes place on jockey horse races. Diego's horse is named Silver Bullet,
hmm,
and Johnny Joestar's is Slow Dancer.
hmm,
Another thing worth noting, and why I want to bring this shit up to you, because I find it entertaining.
hmm,
You know how OG Jonathan was exclusively British?
hmm,
Johnny is American Japanese,
hmm,
but Diego is pure British.
hmm.
I just kind of think that's funny.
It is. It very much is. You know,
Yeah.
I've kind of accepted the fact that I'm going to be making an edgy lighthouse.
Hmm. What is it gonna be? Black and white with a black and white spiral with just like pointy things, like it's some gothic architect.
Honestly, that is kind of tempting, but what I meant was that it's going to be made out of deep slate, which is like a gray-black color, and copper, which is orange, and will slowly turn green, blue-green.
Hmm. Ah.
Though I am kind of tempted with that Gothic architecture. How would I incorporate Gothic architecture into a lighthouse? Maybe make it square instead of circular, but Then I might have to read. Then I might
You
have
would
to.
use, you'd have to use like pointy gates, you know what I mean? Like bars that have like the triangle on top, like a bunch of devil pitchforks. You'd have to do something like that
Hmm.
as one example of the thing I said. Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
I'm reading what Johnny Joestar Stan can do. I knew this shit was busted, but without giving you too many spoilers, infinite energy, able to go through dimensional barriers, enter dimensional space, defy the laws of gravity, is able to have the energy persist through inside objects, even if Johnny was to say miss a shot, and he can redirect them to a target. He's able to imbue them with an infinite spinning motion.
If he doesn't win every fight, he's doing something wrong.
Keep in mind, in that video game that I'm slowly and impatiently waiting to download, I believe he's technically the whole reason we have the crossover with all the different Joestars at once. I'm pretty sure he was basically being chased while he was going in between dimensions and universes.
Honestly, just the fact that he's being chased is just like... at this point, you have all of this power. Learn to use it, because by all rights, you shouldn't be losing any fights.
I will say this, though. The ridiculous thing is when it reaches the fourth and final stage of its evolution. So, to a degree, think of it like what was going on with... Fuck. What's his name? I forgot now.
Giorno?
No.
Jotaro?
No. Yosuke's friend. I'm having a hard time...
Koichi?
Koichi! There it is. Yeah, I know Koichi, but every time I started saying or thinking his name, my brain auto-corrected to Kakyoin, because I like Kakyoin more.
Yeah, understandable.
Them having green color scheme and such means nothing to me. It's just a matter of Kakyoin was cool. I liked him. That reminds me of this really fucking funny JoJo reference in an indie Zelda-like game. Michael has it on his Switch. It's called, and I'm not kidding, here's the title, Tune-Up Boy Commits Tax Fraud. There's this random NPC that you can come across with a distinctly JoJo-looking face, or a Kakyoin-looking face. It's a cherry.
Oh,
its
Jesus.
name is literally Kakyoin, and can you guess what it says?
Something about licking or...
Yep. And he's making the face.
That's hilarious.
Yes, it was fucking amazing. It slayed me. And Michael was confused at first, and I told him, and I showed him the clip, and he thought it was funny, but he was also like, what the fuck is this?
Understandable.
Like, he thought it was fun and everything, but he was like, why the fuck is he doing that?
Yes.
Made worse by the fact that, you know, since he saw the clip without context, as far as he's aware and concerned, he's just watching this random guy, Kakyoin, stare at a dude while he's just sliding a cherry back and forth on his tongue, making that noise, that without any fucking context.
Please, JoJo's the best when it has zero context. because you can just have like, oh, what's this person doing? Breaking all the teeth in the face and the ocean floor, while also kind of suffocating without oxygen.
Hmm. By the way, the Diego stand, it's called Scary Monsters.
Okay, yeah, at least it's fitting.
But apparently, it is sometimes shortened to Dinosaur.
I like
That
scary
is an...
monsters better.
I agree. I'm also just confused by Dinosaur. Like, it's showing me, like, kanji and things like that, and they don't even look to be the same. It seems more like maybe the dinosaur bit, hypothetically, could just be, like, something shortened, like when it's being referred to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Like just the characters referring to it as said dinosaur to understand. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe when they need to save space on the page.
Hey Matt.
Yes.
Uh, you you're at your computer right now, right?
Yes.
Would you be willing to look up what the uh, what what's the lowest depth in Minecraft is?
Sure.
Like, I know it's negative something. I'm just not sure how negative it is.
Negative 64.
Okay, I'm halfway to the bottom of the world.
Hmm.
Or
I should clarify that the results I'm showing, the most recent results it's given me, is shit from a year ago.
yeah, that's fine. That's when they changed it.
And I just wanted to give you that.
Hmm. Okay, yeah. So I'm at negative 35 out of negative 64. This is a very deep hole. I'm going to really, really enjoy when I can just kind of do this with with like enchanted diamond pickaxes.
Hmm.
Hell, enchanted netherite pick. I didn't think this was going to be quite as long-term a project as it's turning out to be.
You remember what I'm doing, right?
I'm in Minecraft.
Yeah, I know. What I'm getting at is that what you're saying applies to both of us.
Fair enough. So the bottom of the hole is negative 35. The top is 31. So that means this hole is 66-ish blocks deep. Hmm. Furnaces should be done by now. You know, uh, I I'm happy about the ore change they made, but it does really enforce the idea that you need to have fortune on the pickaxe.
Hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Like I'm happy about the change because it means more ore, but God, does it mean that you really, really, really need fortune on your pick. Oh yeah, that's a thought. With all this wood I just chopped down, I can use it to make some further expand this area. Then probably do some slabbing.
Huh. Fascinating.
Hmm.
I found out that I unknowingly had a freaking... One of my mods had all of its UI files incorrectly named. As a result, when I just tried to move everything on this, it basically, told me, no, that doesn't work.
Good to know at least.
Yes, but kind of the worst way to find out.
I mean, you could have found out because it crashed your game, but...
Yeah, but that's kind of it, though. The fact that I've had it where the UI wasn't showing up all this time and I hadn't noticed. Like, the mod worked, it's just the character select thing is what wasn't showing up. Like, what wasn't appearing. You get me now?
I hear that, but...
What I mean is, it's not something that'll crash the game. It's just really weird and awkward how this mod, which I've had for months, I never knew or noticed. Like, it's my first time seeing the fucking UI now.
Fair enough. Well, I guess the bright side of this is that, oh, that I'm that while it's not as plentiful as cobblestone, there is still quite a lot of deep slate in the world.
hmm
Okay, so probably here. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. I'm not sure how this is. I'm going to set this up as my. So I know the bottom floor of my lighthouse. I'm setting up as a as a storage area because I definitely need the storage.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what I'm doing with the rest of the with the other floors. Like I know that the middle-ish floor is going to be like an observatory, since that's the one that I have a glass band going around.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I'm really not certain. Okay, so that's the 2 blocks. This is one, one. You know, even if I don't do even if I don't do some sort of fast travel system to to wherever you're currently living, Matt, I'm definitely
Uh-huh.
thinking that I should make one to spawn.
Hmm.
Like, I did mention the Candyland project to you, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that's that alone, it seems like one good reason to have direct access to spawn if we're just getting a crap ton of people, or maybe not a crap ton, but like I think you can do 4 player split screen on in Minecraft, right?
Yeah.
So I I could probably get 4 people in on my system,
Uh-huh.
plus you, plus Tim, plus Lex probably. Um, or I definitely could get at least 3 people, but at least three or 4 people on my end. Lex, Sylvia, Lex, Tim, Sylvia. Like even like even if we don't get all of those, that's still quite a few people, and having some quick, easy way to get from spawn to my area, which is 1,000 blocks away, seems like a good idea. really do love how my base is coming along.
Hmm.
It's very work in progress still, but that's fine, honestly. I enjoy the fact that it's, like, when it's actually done, it's, honestly, even if even if I lost this world today, well, maybe not lost, but like if this were a hardcore world and I lost access to it today, I've made enough progress that while I would be sad to have lost it, it's like I've done a lot.
Hmm.
Sad to have lost it, but I've gotten a lot done. And I've definitely figured out how I'm going to be be glassing the floor of the ocean once I have a good enchanting system set up. Because, God, it's so much easier just digging on the ocean floor rather than repeatedly flooding my base.
Hmm.
Which does remind me that I need to look into how to stop the drown from spawning. Short
Hmm.
of removing all of the water. If there's a way to do it without going that far. And I've just flooded my base. God damn it. God damn it, Nappa. Honestly, not much happened. That's a win in my book. You know, I was watching the Boobit
Mm-hmm.
compilation,
Yeah.
and I think one of my favorite parts was when Super Gotenks was doing was blowing out all the ghosts, and just Vegeta was there, and then he turned around and Nappa was there. I wonder if there's a TNT duplication glitch on Bedrock. Because I'm just thinking about it, and while I do want to clear large portions of my base, not
Mm-hmm.
all of it needs to be that neat. And I could accept being left with like a very, yeah, a very blown up hole if the end result was me not having to deal with clearing the base clearing it myself.
Hmm.
Like that would feel like a good trait to me. Still very work in progress, but I like how my base is coming along.
That's good.
And today, apparently I've become a halfway house, so if you decide you don't mind traveling 1,000 or so blocks, I'll happily put you up for a bit until you get your feet under you, or etc.
Hmm.
I mean, that's literally what I'm doing for Tim. Until he decides to leave, I am hosting him.
Does he play enough to where he could leave?
Uh, he's played once, so maybe? He's played it once, so it's possible he'll play it enough that he will eventually he, decide to. Actually, I think right now he's actually living in uh, or he. Oh God, goddamn phantoms! Wait, what am I doing? I'm building like a bunch of blocks in the air with phantoms chasing me. What am I thinking? The correct answer is obviously I'm not. Okay. I think that's a good point to call it. Uh, Thank you for joining me. I hope you had a good time. If you enjoyed, do the usual YouTube, Twitch things like follow, subscribe, whatever. And I hope you had a good one. See you around. Bye.